of Hilork Fighter Giac of Bia. Oh no, Zen. Yep. Now the almighty Zen. Most underrated god in the game, for sure. People just don't know. They must not be stacking the Piety enough to get the recite going and training the Invo enough. Anyway, into the Abyss, which is basically risk-free with Zen. One can always Sanctuary and teleport, so... Notice that I forgot the arrows for sticks to snakes, so make that a priority so I can inner flame them. Checking my rings for some reason. Oh, I'm gonna cast some pass wall. I always try to run on the diagonals in the Abyss because DCS is stupid in that it doesn't charge you more to run along a diagonal than an XY axis, even though according to Pythagorean's theorem it's longer. So one can uncover more of the map that way. And it's harder for monsters to catch up. Otherwise, if one is moving on the XY axis, then monsters can move diagonally and reach one quickly. And since the Abyss is all about outrunning monsters, diagonal is the way to go. Try to run in the same direction if possible, and anytime one can pass wall, that's great, because monsters cannot follow through that very easily. And if it turns out to be a bad spot, one can just pass wall back. I'm moving with directed auto move, so that auto interrupt will notice if a monster appears amidst all the visual clutter. Now my recite is working as expected. It's nuking demons. There's a star-cursed mass. I decide to juke, since it's far away. Here's a Raiju. Thinking about that star-cursed mass, which is likely in pursuit, how I can handle this Raiju. With hexes and Arlek, Raiju is no problem. Just put Corona on him. Sure enough, the star-cursed mass is following. Looks like I've got a nook here to the left, so I can limit the number of star-cursed masses that have me in vision. They become exponentially more damaging the more of them are visible. Poison the Raiju and then bludgeon him. Got two sources of regen with the amulet, which is great for the Abyss, which is all about endurance. And also my spellcasting is high, which improves my MP regeneration. which is also important. Force the star cursed mass to close a bit. To where I can reach it with my handy trident. Good thing I remembered to bring that. Just keep on LOSing. And now charge in for some axe murdering. There's the gateway. So I recite to just try to nuke the Quasit. My priority is to get there ASAP. Use the quick blade. There's a star spawn. Probably be difficult to run past him. With his tentacles and his, he can actually displace with his constriction. So I just charge and axe, and then this orb I can ignore. So I do. Exit secured. So drop off my stuff. It's a nice scarf. Gives me a repulsion field, which I'll take over my redundant Arpoise +2 cloak. Already profited off the abyss. I don't like doing Scroll of Vulnerability in the Abyss because one never knows when a Hexer will show up, such as Lich. Large Abomination. I recite it and use the Sacred Scourge. Recite is nice on those because they have a lot of AC, which it ignores. Gold is a priority in the Abyss for the Zen Piety. an Efreet. Unfortunately, my hunting sling is RF minus, so I charge him with my freezing sling, freezing Morningstar of RF++. It's a +4 Scimitar Flaming, which is a good weapon to brand, perhaps. I guess it's not that good. It's not a double sword. And probably my flame axe is better. But it's like the highest enchanted scimitar I've seen, so worth a pickup. Finished off the Starkhurst mass, doing a good job of controlling their line of sight. I want to use anti-magic on the World Binder. I'm not so worried about the Smoke Demon. You can do a bit of smite damage, but I decided not to recite because I didn't want to pull more enemies with the noise. Water is a barrier both to the player and monsters, so crossing it is nice. Adjacent to a Nekasek. Recite immediately, and he turns into a pillar of salt. Recite pulled a Enoxinol. Anti-magic handled him. Definitely anti-magic on the World Binder. They're a monster one wants to charge. The Abyss is about mobility and firepower and regeneration. So switch from swing bullets to stones and just fire whenever anything is visible to try to keep ahead of the reinforcement rate. There's a big BO pack. I'll recite them immediately. I find it amusing that one can convert to BO if there's a priest in the pack that he summoned. So, doesn't leave one much excuse for dying to such packs, since conversion would presumably turn the whole group neutral, and then it would fight one's enemies. So it's a pretty big swing. Here's a Revenant. He likes to stay at range. Unfortunately, I can't have max RN and anti-magic simultaneously. So, doing what I can. I'm going to spend some time in a spectral cloud, most likely, fighting one of these guys. Sure enough, it's his first move. And if he's super annoying, he'll blink away. I decide that the sling is not getting the job done, so I switch to the anti-magic axe and accept some negative energy damage. He manages to get a cast off and drain me lightly. The noise from the ghostly fireball has pulled company. I should vitalize when fighting the chaos monster so that it can't do some of the nastier chaotic effects. And then it's just a matter of asking him a question. By everywhere. Really, I think they're doing me a favor by blocking the tougher monsters, forcing them to come at me one at a time while I regenerate. This axe is pretty overpowered. Spatial vortex somewhere nearby. Tentacle monster. I could recite him, but that would attract attention, and he's not that much of a threat. With my minus telly sling, I don't have to worry much about these spatial vortexes. Large abomination. May or may not be Harvey Weinstein. Took out the Necosec with recite assistance. I've got this Starkhurst mass in the open and adjacent, which is the worst case for it versus Hillork Axe Food. As you can see, the axe is tearing up, so there's really no need to train it higher. It's more important to have, for example, a good answer to abominations, which is my Holy Scourge, or the ability to counter Raiju, which is my +8 dagger. When you've got a character with a strong fighting aptitude, or even a decent one, then being skilled at multiple weapon classes makes sense. Put on Reflection for the Eye of Devastation and switch to Anti-Magic. Worldbinder is going to summon a bit for free, but take him down without too much problem. Without any problem. Getting trolled here on pass wall. Here's a Death Knight. He's already reflecting injuries. Apport the Potion of Agi. Even though he's reflecting injuries, I'll go ahead and poison him, because I can regen through the damage over time. And I try the Scourge, but he's not counted as unholy, even though he's a Death Knight of Urad, which... okay, I guess. But I think that, like, priests do take holy damage, so... well, he seems like a priest to me. I don't know, whatever. Ancient Zyme, so I vitalize. Can't touch this. But he's not vulnerable to holy damage, he's just sick. And there's my gate out, which I take immediately, regardless of whatever loot is around. Drop off the loot I've collected. Another Enoxenol and a Lich. I've forgotten to have the right, one of my rings is not the MR Plus ring, so I'm actually vulnerable to his hexes, so I equip the MR Plus axe. I don't realize that I've got one of the wrong rings on. I've still got the flight ring. Or maybe I just put it on to cross the water, I'm not sure. But no, I've had it on since the fight with the Revenant. So I figure out use one of those 3 books. Paralyze is still an option. And Petrify, which would be probably worse in the Abyss. He gets me with a weak Orb of Destruction. Find out that he's got Paralyze. So that's very dangerous. Paralyzed by a Hasted Lich. Might not survive that. I think here I finally realized that I've got the wrong ring on. I'm still vitalized, so I don't have to care about really anything that guy does. Green Draconian Knight. This guy thinks he's hard. He's got a lot of Azukibu's armor, but his weakness is his low magic resistance. So that's what I'll attack. I'm using myself by checking the ensorcelled hibernation chance, but I'll slow him first. And I don't get to confuse, but I do want to do that to neutralize his shield. Otherwise it will take forever to kill him. He nails me with ice. So I think I put another ice ring on. Nope, I put a plus int ring on to get the confuse. That works, so now he's not casting and he's not blocking. Very effective hex. That's why hexes complements the heal orc so well. That's why he invests everything into int, every stat level up, so that he can attack that MR vulnerability when it's there. Now it's just a matter of chasing the green Draconian down and freezing him so that he's even more slowed. I don't know if that stacks with slow or not. Go ahead and recite, and here comes another abomination. Which I don't mind. They're good XP, well, they're good Piety at least. I don't know about XP. And I should pick up this shield as well. It's better than the large shield I have. And here is a Flayed Ghost, so I immediately recite, and it doesn't work, so I line of fire and start attacking. I think I should have hexed, actually, instead of just plain fighting. Those are dangerous, because if I get yanked away, then I can't finish the Flayed Ghost, and I'm still flayed. Although getting yanked away does put one in an initially safe spot. Something could materialize though while I'm heavily flayed. There's the exit. Just run straight for it. Another easy run through the abyss. Still haven't touched any resources. Drop off my goodies once more into the breach. Lurking horrors. I have not been handling those well so far, as you will see. Yeah. I think ice blasting them around a corner, that's a counter I wasn't using, although I can easily hit oneself. No, if it's done right, then it won't hit oneself. Oh, Fulminant Prism, that's what I should be using, yeah. I'm trying to get the snake to go bite him. I set it to guard, but you'd think that the snake would get him. So I go ahead and pass wall, I'm trying to get away. Miscast it. And no, the lurking heart gets me. I should have Fulminant Prismed. That's the answer I'm looking for. So now I'm hurt, and I've got Necrosec and a Bone Dragon. Should take out the Necrosec first, because I'm not yet immune to mutation. And Recite does nothing to the Bone Dragon, unsurprisingly. So I'm considering my options here, and I just don't feel enthusiastic about taking on this Bone Dragon when I'm already hurt. Got all kinds of resistances and good AC. Yet another Necrosec trying to block his line of fire. Gotta blink out of here. Unfortunate position. There's not a lot of great positions to blink to, though. This is a bit better. I decide to re-teleport and just say screw this. Try to get a kill before I go. I did get one of them, I think. Teleports in the abyss are significantly delayed. Region is putting me back to rights. There's a replacement for the teleport I just spent. Another Enoxinol. Trying to fire through the Aphetibi. Worldbinder, Line of Sight him, and Anti-Magic. Iron Dragon Zombie, weakness is MR. EV is crap too, but I can't do much with that. Yeah, slowing him. Go for the confuse, it doesn't happen, that's okay. Got low MP to be casting further. recite from the necosec. It pulls in a star-cursed mass. Need to focus on the necosec. Use anti-magic. Got a lot of company. Consider putting a lamp of flame in there with the star-cursed mass. Decide the line of sight instead. Need to vitalize when this chaos critter pulls up, and there's a lurking horror, so this is not good. This would be a great opportunity for a Fulminant Prism, though. Got a kill hole here. The Executioner is punishing me for retreating. Got a nice cloud of chaos. And I should Iceblast here since the lurking horror is next. Or Fulminant Prism, and then just walk away. That would probably work as well. Like even a weak explosion. Okay, it wasn't. Or even just have a snake ready instead of just walked into the chaos cloud and detonated immediately. Got me. It's unfortunate, but I decided to stay here because I do have this kill hole and I can regen while fighting. This is happening. My HP is going up while I'm fighting abominations. So, go figure. I decided to wait instead of moving, which is dubious. I think moving is better in the Abyss. Waiting. I should have run up and to the left. I've got a biopack to deal with. I don't like his flail of draining. But I can't Takema it due to conduct. Good God's conduct. So I slow the Orc Warlord instead, and then I only have to deal with the Warg, which I can do with the Quick Blade to ensure that I don't and there's a Tormentor. So it's time to run. And pass wall. Demonic Crawler can run me down. Wretched Star Reflection would be good, but I still want the regen from my amulet, so I decide not to do that. Oh, another lurking horror. So now I should Ice Blast, without question. That's the right move, and it would be fine. But I just don't do that. So now it's adjacent. I do have full RN. I keep line of firing it and create a snake, but now I'm trapped. So the snake does me no good. I try to remove the sling to get rid of minus telly so I can blink away, but that's a terrible move because that just takes away my RN before it detonates. So that was stupid. Yeah, clearly hadn't worked out what to do with those guys yet, but I think with Iceblast and Fulminant Prism, I'll be good. And 6 to snakes should help as well. Obviously one can't use 6 to snakes and Fulminant Prism together. Getting trolled again by pass wall. Enoxinol. The rate of regeneration is just ridiculous. World Binder. Very ugly thing pack. He gets me with the venom, so I quaff healing, or quaff cure wounds. Switch to the RF plus Morning Star to finish off the red one. And I'm back up above 200 HP after that. Bunch of spatial vortexes. Just keep up my minus telly sling and blink them to death. Quicksilver Dragon Simulacrum. I should have slowed it and got my RC maxed, or 2 pips is the best I can do. And really I shouldn't be next to this thing, I should be I don't know, hitting it with Flame Wand. It's pretty heavy hitting Simulacrum, but I have a lot of HP, so it's okay. Corona on the Raiju and take him out. Grab his chunks. There's a Nekasek, kill it with her sight. Large Abomination. Even though translocation and stealth aren't the best for the build, they're the best for the branch, which is where I am now, so that's what I'll level. Thrashing Horrors, countered by Polearms, which fortunately I have brought. Anti-magic for the Wretched Star. It drags me back to its lair. It's amusing. Oh, and we're at 6 pips Piety now. Giac is, anyway. Just railgunning through the, well, firing through the Raiju. Doesn't have penetration, but if it misses, it continues on. Infilating the Raiju. Racking up those kills to spawn an exit. And there we go. Leave immediately. And that's it. At 6 Piety I can now quaff mutation potions and get rid of my malmutations. So, time to do an equipment run. And at this point, the character would be ready to do slime. But I already did it. So, thanks for watching.